Hello, everyone. I'm Kareem Rae, your host at the One Soccer Nation podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Luis Calderon. Luis, thank you so much for taking the time. Can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, Kareem. Thank you for having me on the One Soccer Nation podcast. My name is Luis Calderon, as you mentioned. I'm Chief Operating Officer at GotSport, and I've been in the sports industry for over 15 years. Just a little bit about myself. I was born in Peru, and originally in Lima, Peru, to be exact, but I've lived in the U.S. majority of my life. And I fell in love with the sport of soccer when I was 6. It's been a key part of my life, and personally and professionally, and have been fortunate enough to play at the collegiate level. And I've now taken the same passion and competitiveness into the professional side of the business world for the sports industry.
Amazing. So you have over 15 years of experience in sports industry and 10 years in software. What initially inspired you to merge these two passions, and how has your career evolved to your current role as COO at GotSport?
Yeah, being part of a generation that quickly became technology driven, where we have day-to-day life tools that we use consistently, made it very easy to find a career path in the sports industry while tying my passion of technology. So using both of those items or those things in my life, bringing them together, made it very easy to build a career out of it. Especially when I was a person who played at a competitive level and always wanted to move at a fast pace and always have goals and set them out and to complete them as quickly as possible. So once I became a part of the GotSport team, back in 2014, I started out in the customer service department and worked my way up, being bilingual in the beginning, trilingual later on, with Spanish, English, and Portuguese. I was able to focus on the opportunity that was presented to me within at the company, that was to take the GotSport brand internationally and basically start from zero, because we were really respected in the US, but weren't really known outside of the United States. So I've learned a lot from our clients, my colleagues, and along the way, I've developed and grown as an individual, which has allowed me to be well prepared for the chief operating officer role. And now I'm able to lead a fantastic team of individuals at the GotSport organization.
Amazing. And I got to meet some of those individuals back at SoccerX last year, 2024 in Miami. That's where we first met. And shout out to James Genosis, who made that introduction to me, to you. Um, and I definitely learned, obviously got to meet you in person, got to learn about God's sport, what you guys do, and meet some of the colleagues that you work with. So it was great to meet you in person. And then it's always nice to meet people in person first and then have them on the podcast. So really appreciate you taking the time.
No
Um,
problem.
with saying that, as the chief operating officer of GotSport, what does a typical day look like for you, and how do you balance strategic direction of the company with the operation demands?
A typical day at GotSport is fast paced, busy with numerous meetings, just reviewing and perfecting our different processes that we have across the organization. And the nice thing is we have different directors. They're all fantastic individuals, and we're constantly working and reviewing each process to see where we need to make tweaks to improve them. And that allows us to always remain focused on our tasks, right, on our goals, and making sure that the operational demands that sometimes don't align directly with the strategic direction that the company's heading in, they don't distract us, right? So how do we resolve issues that come about on the operational side in a quick and efficient manner, so that we can continue being focused on our short-term and long-term goals as an organization.
Understood. Probably the first question I should have asked you is, what is GotSport?
GotSport is it's a fantastic software platform. We started out in 1999, originally as a blog, but then in the early 2000s, we launched our tournament registration platform. So we were one of the very first, if not the first, software solution that, instead of having to go to a tent to check whether your team qualified to the final or what the scores were of the other games while attending a tournament, we brought that online so that parents and families and event directors could operate that way. Fast forward to 2025, we now work with over 158 professional leagues across the world. We help them on all the operational side and administrative side with different software solutions so that we are able to help them work as efficiently as possible and spend as little time as they need to on things that technology can take care of for them. Right. So we work with local youth clubs in all over the United States to governing bodies and confederations like CONCACAF and CONMEBOL.
Understood. So GotSport has become a leading platform for enhancing the sports experience. How do you see technology transforming the soccer ecosystem, particularly for players, coaches, and organizers?
The nice thing about technology is that it gives you access to data and the way the data is delivered, right? So for those particular stakeholders in the market that you mentioned, like players, coaches, and organizers, and seeing the different technological advances that you see, I think technology is going to boom in the next 10 years even more, especially in the sports industry. You're going to see better athletes, better performances from a technical and athletic perspective. I can't name a specific technology that I see coming out right away, but I think just technology overall is improving everything in the ecosystem. And the same thing for coaches and organizers, right? I see coaches being able to consume data at a faster speed with removing all the noise and focusing on what's actually important because technology will take care of that for them so they can focus on developing their players, their teams, and so on. The players will be able to better develop themselves, not just at an individual perspective, right? So an individual will have so much information at hand that is unique and personalized to them that it's not like you're getting kind of like a book that or a shoe that one size fits all type of thing. No, it's going to be very personalized along the way. It's going to analyze the coaching strategy, coaching perspective, and the same thing on the organizer side. When you're organizing events, what will make your event unique? So all of those things will come together in the next, I feel like 5 to 10 years, and be extremely more efficient and well received by many generations or to come.
Sure. Do you think there's ever a point where there is like too much information, too much data, or that's not that, that that's not even possible?
I think right now that's where we are at.
Yeah,
Right, where we're receiving so much information, but we're not sure what to do with it sometimes. I think in the future, with the implementation of artificial intelligence, you'll see that data be refined so that you're able to consume what's actually important and remove all the noise out of it that you don't need to really read, understand, or even see.
for sure. You've worked with diverse communities across the world and are multilingual. How has your ability to speak English, Spanish, and Portuguese helped you build relationships and adapt GotSport's offering for different regions?
It's allowed me to connect with people and their cultures. I think a lot of people, if they've only done business in one single area of the world or one country, you're not used to seeing different cultures and how things are done across different areas of the world. So what it has allowed me to do on a personal level is understand that everybody operates differently. Everybody sees things differently. So instead of just having transactional relationships where there's, okay, this is what I can offer you, this is what you can offer me back, and this is the cost. It's allowed me to truly build friendships, sit down with people, understand who they are, their families, for them to understand who I am, and learn from them, right? So that our business deal is not just a one single business deal, and sometimes there is no business deal. Sometimes I've just built friendships that have turned into business deals down the road. But being able to speak three different languages, I honestly learned to speak Portuguese just because I wanted to work with the Brazilian Federation so bad. I didn't actually speak any Portuguese before that. And now they're a great client, and I have a lot of friends there. So it's really helped me a lot as I continue to attempt to learn more languages and expand across the world.
Sure. I mean, you're the second person that I'm aware of that speaks more than two languages. So do you think, being able to do business in different countries gives you an edge? over other individuals that are in your position across other companies? Um, or is it just an experience?
No, I think there's definitely an edge. Right, not everybody speaks English when you go somewhere else or something. It makes when you walk into somebody's house, basically, and you're trying to speak their language, even if you don't speak it perfectly, it gives them that sense that you're trying, right? While instead of just arriving and saying, "Hey, I came to you, but I expect you to speak what I speak," um, kind of puts their they put their how can I say it? They put their guard down a little bit, and you get to know them more as an individual, as a person, which then makes doing business that much easier. It helps you're able to understand each other, on a personal level instead of just a transactional business level. So I think it does have a huge benefit.
Yeah, for sure. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced in scaling GotSport to become a leader in the sports tech industry, and how have you addressed them?
Acceptance of the solutions that we offer has been the biggest challenge. And the reason I say that is as a technology company, if as you enter different countries, different cultures, technology is not always well received. Sometimes it's seen as a threat, right? People think you're coming after their job. It's happened with clients that we have today, right? When we initially knocked on the door and began attempting to have a relationship, it still happens to us today. People think, oh, this person's after my job because their technology is just going to replace me. So through education and helping them understand that we're not there to replace them, but in reality, we're there to enhance their work experience, right? Something that could take them 10, 15 hours, now it can take them 30 minutes, right? So we're able to, for example, just give you an example of what we do with professional leagues around the world. We optimize their schedules, their fixtures. Normally, it would take them a ton of paper and Excel sheets and many days to just get one single version. Sometimes we're able to generate a schedule in 30 seconds, and they're able to quickly review it with our different tools and identify where the challenges are, run another version and quickly. And then sometimes within 5 hours, they can finalize the schedule. In other cases, yes, it still takes 2 weeks because they're still getting information from all over the place. But it's basically that's our biggest challenge that we have faced is acceptance. And even though as a pop as humanity we're so technologically advanced, it's still a challenge in certain parts of the world.
Yeah. So how do you guys have those conversations in regards to, saying, hey, look, it's not gonna take away your job. It's gonna enhance your job and cut down the workload from an hour to 10 minutes, right? And then, is there ever a question where it's like, okay, if it's cutting down the workload that much, then what other work we're gonna do? Or is it like, oh, this is great, it's gonna help us get through more work faster in less time? How does that really go?
Yeah, so normally because we have a fairly well-rounded understanding of what the different roles and duties that these individuals have in the role that we're, in the position where they would be using our software, we know that they have a lot more responsibilities to cover
Yeah.
that they normally don't get around to it because they're so consumed by this one core individual task they have at hand that we're coming in to make so much easier that once you help them understand that you're not there to replace them, you're there so that they can shift their energy and focus towards these other tasks that does require their attention. They're more receptive, they're more welcoming when they see our solution and our different tools that we have available for them. And then the other thing that we're also able to help them with is helping them understand that technology can be a friend instead of just a competitor to them, right? So they start then seeing other technological tools in other areas that we're not involved in as something they should accept as well.
Understood. And GotSport is not a startup, right? You guys have been running for multiple years now, and you guys are working with multiple federations, leagues. Um, how do you guys go out and continue to get business? Do you guys have an outreach strategy?
Yes, yeah. So we have numerous different teams responsible for different areas of the business, right? We have more than 14 products, and these different teams I'm constantly working with their different directors, strategizing, where should our next target area be? Sometimes it's areas that we've already attacked and, or gone after, gotten so much clientele, and then we shift to the next target area and then come back to that target area after we've established a decent relationship with the clients we do have there, built friendships, and then have them kind of open the door for us. So there's still a lot for us to gain out there worldwide, and so the strategy is extremely important.
Absolutely. With your extensive experience in software and sports, are there any upcoming innovations or trends in sports technology that you believe will revolutionize the industry in the next 5 to 10 years that you could share?
I don't see, I don't know one yet that's going to completely revolutionize the industry when it comes to one specific product. But what I have seen is just the continuous development and improvement in artificial intelligence, as I was mentioning earlier, will continue to improve just all tools all around, right? From what a competitions director is using to what a player is using down on the field to what a medical doctor is seeing regarding the performance of athletes, understanding how to create something unique and specific and custom for that one athlete versus another. So AI and all the data is able to consume, process, and then deliver back and present. It's going to touch basically almost all technological products that we have today. Just not just on the GotSport side, but just overall. You have the video analysis aspect of things, or you consume so much data. And as I mentioned earlier, we're in the part of this long journey where we're consuming a ton of data, and sometimes we don't know what to do with it. I think in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be so refined. We don't even have to worry about that. We know what we're receiving. It's just what matters and nothing else.
Got it. GotSport's mission focuses on empowering the sports community. Can you share a story or example how the platform has made a tangible difference in the lives of athletes or organizations?
Yeah, our CEO is actually South African. So there's a couple schools in South Africa that, as they wanted to deliver a more professionalized experience for kids in areas of low income, we decided to back that mission. Just taking it back to its roots was actually, or going back to the roots was the name of the project. Don't quote me on that one. I don't want to get it wrong, but we were focused on giving back to where our CEO came from and saw how through our technology we were able to help the organizers of that academy help and identify talent and maintain the data, taking registration, all of those different aspects, run their competitions, everything, in order for them to help some of these players reach the national team, or at least the national team academies or the youth teams. So that was one of the story or an example of how we've helped giving back to our community, the sports community overall. And we don't just do it there, right? We even with our clients, we're helping organizations work more efficiently so they can focus on giving back to the game that we all love. So we're currently working with some confederations on a project is mainly focused about developing the game, entering into low income areas where people don't have a lot and don't have many tools at their disposal, where GotSport can help those areas develop through our software.
Yeah, that's a great initiative. What countries are you guys doing that in?
I'm not allowed to disclose them, unfortunately, but it's a lot. It's like 40 plus countries right now that we're partnering with the different governing bodies to help them uh, take their brand and our brand into lower income areas to help grow the game.
Understood. What leadership principles have guided you throughout your career, and how have they influenced the culture and growth of GotSport?
Um, Leadership principles, the ones I've always kept in my mind are honesty, adaptability, respect, and mindset. I think those are just the things that my dad, my parents, or my father and mother always kind of just instilled in me is making sure you always know you're doing something with for a purpose. You're not just doing something just to do it. Always be honest. Um, you know, that's how you break or make trust. And adaptability. Times will always change, so don't be afraid to change. Make sure that you're always understanding why people are different or why they have a different mindset, why their approach may be different, so that you can take time to take that in and see, okay, what can I learn from this? Right. So to not be stubborn and set in your own ways. And then respect is just respect everybody across the board. Right. You may not agree on a lot of things, but just through respect, you can still build friendships, relationships, and then learn as to why that person doesn't see things the way you do, see eye to eye. And doesn't mean you have to be friends, but at least you have mutual respect. And these are important principles that have allowed not just myself, but so a lot of my colleagues share similar mindset, similar way of thinking, so that we don't lose sight of our mission, which is empowering the world through technology. That's mainly the sports industry and just being good human beings overall, right? The business aspect will come with it as we build these friendships, these relationships versus the transactional uh, opportunities. Right? So our company's vision, mission has always been let's make friends and build true relationships instead of just here's my service, this is how much it costs, here's the dotted line.
Yeah, no, 1,000% I agree with you. And like I've had that experience of like hard salesman pitch, pitch, pitch versus where it's, more, transitioning to a more calm, relaxed conversation, building, as you mentioned, that friendship, that having that relationship, having conversations and seeing if it's a fit or not. If it's not, leaving it there. And if it is, perfect, let's fit it in. Well, that approach is definitely way better than the hard sell, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. No, I mean, just to give you an example, this morning I had a conversation with an organization that we met with in 2017. It just wasn't the right fit at the right time. Became friends, just kind of touch base, holidays, just big soccer moments, big games, kind of just hey, did you see that game? Yes or no? Just built a friendship, and then randomly close to the end of the year, this past year, requested a call like, hey, can we connect on a Zoom, just like we are right now, and said, I think we're ready, right? So we've seen how much we've grown. Because we've continuously grown over the years, and we've grown, and I think we're finally kind of in the right place. I don't want to jinx it, so I don't want to put out more information, but I think we're in the right place to finally be a good fit for each other, and they're just all through friendship.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely the best approach.
Yeah.
With saying that youth development is a critical aspect of soccer, how does GotSport support grassroots programs and youth soccer development at the community level?
Well, I mentioned a little bit of that earlier with the project that we're kind of working on with some of these governing bodies, but even with our clients that we have across, we have more than 3,000 youth clients across the United States. How the way we are able to help them continue to develop the game in their respective areas is through our software. Right? We're able to give them tools that empowers all tiers within their organization, right? Whether it's administrator, coaches, managers, volunteers, to have tools that will allow them to enjoy being part of the soccer community and the game, so that we continue to enhance and grow the game together instead of just here's a tool, have fun, you know. So through customer service and our software solutions, we're able to build those friendships, continue to help our clients, continue to grow. Um, and then we also give back to the community through different uh, programs where we're able to either help through a scholarship or help through giving back to sponsoring an event or sponsoring a specific cause that our clients sometimes are hosting. It's not even our causes that we're bringing to the table. So we're involved in many different ways, and we're always looking to continue to give back to the community and enhance the sport of soccer and all sports through technology.
Got it. Last question. If you don't mind, after I have some fun questions, if that's okay with you. Uh,
Yeah.
Reflecting on your journey, what advice would you give to aspiring leaders looking to make an impact in the technology space and sports, and what lessons have been most valuable to you?
The main advice I would say, don't be afraid to make mistakes. I have made a ton of them along the way. And thanks to those mistakes that I am where I am today, right? And in a different roles, in every role that I've had, I've always made mistakes, but don't give up. All right. So it's just don't be afraid to make a mistake. That's how we learn, and that's how we continue to evolve. And it's a never-ending cycle of growth.
Awesome.
Separate from that is make sure you have a vision. Where do you want to go? Don't just do things just to do them. Just you do it for the paycheck, you're in it for the wrong reasons, and you're only going to go so high in whatever you're looking to do, right? So if sports and technology requires love for both, if you're not in love with both, then you'll eventually, look for something else. So make sure you're passionate about it as well. And the last piece of advice would be very adaptable so that you can continue to grow as the world continues to change.
Yeah, those are great points. Thank you for sharing that, Luis. For some fun questions before we end off, some personal questions,
Okay.
related, personal. I'll start off with soccer. Who's your favorite soccer team in the United States if you watch soccer in the US?
My favorite soccer team in the U.S. was and still is DC United. I grew up in Maryland. I used to go watch Marco Echeverri and Jaime Moreno play for the DC United back in the late 90s.
I
Cool.
wonder if Fred Mathis was working there at that time in the 90s for DC because he did work at DC.
Yeah, yeah. He would have been, yeah, I was a little kid back then, but yeah, he would have been there, yeah, for sure.
What about outside of the US? What's your favorite Europe league to watch?
La Liga, I'm a diehard Real Madrid fan.
Real Madrid?
Yeah, Real Madrid, yeah.
I didn't
I
see
Go ahead.
I didn't see the game, but they just lost to Barcelona in a final, no?
Yeah, we don't speak about that. Yeah, we lost 5-2 yesterday. Actually, it was a rough day for me and my household. My son is also a diehard Real Madrid fan, so it was a sad day for us both. But hey, you can't win them all, and Barcelona was the better team. So
You guys have a killer squad though. Mbappe, Bellingham, some quality players.
yeah, I think the guys are still, a lot of egos, big names, young,
Yeah.
so still need to figure themselves out. Well, Barcelona is a mixture of a little bit, they still have a lot of young guys, don't get me wrong, but they also have some established players like Lewandowski and stuff like that up front that helps that mindset kind of focus, and they have a really good team too. So I'm excited to see when they play again, if the story will change or if I'll be sad again and it will repeat itself.
What about what's your favorite type of food to eat when you're watching a football game?
Oh, I can't eat when I watch it. Well, if it's Real Madrid, I can't watch. I can't eat anything. I just have to focus. Right? Like, don't disrupt me. Don't even talk to me. That's kind of my mindset.
Yeah,
Other sporting events or even other soccer games, I would say chicken wings.
nice, some nice wings. What about like a home cooked meal? Anything food
Home,
wise?
uh, well, I love Peruvian food. Right? I'm Peruvian myself, so we have lomo saltado, which is kind of sauteed sliced beef mixed with French fries and some soy sauce and onions and tomatoes. It's really good. So I don't mind eating that as well while watching a sporting event, as long as it's not Real Madrid.
Yeah. Uh,
So
what else is there? What about music artists? Who's your favorite artist and favorite song?
I mainly listen to Latin music. So it's gonna sound really cheesy, but Mark Anthony is my favorite artist. So yeah, that's my go-to guy.
Have you heard that song that I don't know the Latin artist name, but Drake's on it.
He's on a couple of songs.
Like I know
He's
there's Bad Drake and Bad Bunny, but
on Bad Bunny.
the,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
the other artist that he recently made a song with. and a music video to it as well. It was really good. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I think I might have missed that one. Might have to check in on that one and get back to you.
You know what? I'll send it to you and you let me know what you think of it. But yeah, no, those are all the fun questions I had. But yeah, this was
No,
awesome.
I really appreciate it.
Awesome. So Luis, thank you so much for taking the time for being on the One Soccer Nation podcast.
No, thank you very much, Kareem, and I hope to be on it again soon in the future.